Well done, everybody. Bravo. Excellent. I'm Samir, and it's a pleasure to listen to you guys. You sound great. I think for our purposes, we should work on the Tchaikovsky. You know, as we were waiting for that stage changeover, it was clear that there were, you know, perhaps not a few chairs yet on stage and stands and all that. And I thought, how wonderful, actually, that there's a music program out there that we need more chairs and stands for. You know, that you don't see that very often. A lot of the times music programs are dwindling. So it's so great to see so many of you playing an orchestra. And I can tell you love it because of the way you play. And I'd like to work on the Tchaikovsky with you. And I think we should just go from the very beginning. So let's just start together, okay? Good, good. Could you guys all play a little bit higher in the bow, just a little, and play a little bit closer to the fingerboard? And really take the dynamic very seriously. So it should be the next thing to silence. Good. Now, when you play, don't go da, but in order to place that third beat, though, we still have to be counting through the tremolo, right? A little bit closer to the fingerboard. So this has to sound really distant, right? Very distant. Do whatever you need to make it sound very quiet. One, two, three. Good. Could you guys taste these grace notes a little bit more? So it sounds like, you know, when you're stepping in mud. It's a little heavier. These are heavy mud-laden boots. The third bar. 3, 4. Yum. So it's quicker, and play it quicker, and play, instead of, you guys are playing it before the beat in your mind, right? You guys are, but a young, da. Try playing it on the beat. So you get, okay? I'll give you one empty bar. This is bar 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now be heavier on the grace notes. So you get wrong. Basses, we could hear you guys more on this. Okay. Can't just hear the basses in the third bar. 3, 4. You guys are too delicate. Really loud. I know it's just pianissimo, but basses, you guys can always feel free to ignore the dynamic and play louder in general, in life. Okay? 3, 4. You know, they have to carry that whole thing, and you guys have to drive that thing around, so they might as well be able to play a little bit louder. 3, 4. That's it. Can you play into that sound? This is not happy music. 3, 4. Very good. Now can we have the first seconds and the violas in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. Now what I was noticing is that some of you are playing with vibrato, and some of you are not. Can we all commit to playing vibrato and playing with a very wide vibrato? It's a little more, it gives the music a little more flavor. Can I hear bar 5? The good vibrato, rich sound, and first and seconds, let me just hear you guys. 3, 4. Good. Some of you are starting here in the bow, and some of you are starting up here. Everybody should be starting from the lower half of the bow. And it helps if you turn your hand out just a little bit so you don't get that gritty sound. Right? 3, 4. Very good. Now, because there's a sea of violins here, one of the things that I think we get used to is if we play in the back stands, we're not as important as the people that play out front. And that couldn't be any more wrong. It's a very wrong thing to think about. So what we need to have is that everybody in the back, you guys feel like you're leading the whole section. All of you in those back 2 rows, play louder. Those of you in the front, take it easy just a little bit. But you guys all have to play louder, okay? All, yeah. Lower half of the bow, 3, 4. See, now the other part is that when you're further back, you tend to play late. So you're already behind the people up front. So you guys need to just anticipate a little bit more. You're slower than they are, in other words. You're playing slower than they are. Can you play a little faster and be with everybody here on stage? 3, bar 5. 3, 4. Good, now let's put it together. The opening with this. It's like a snare drum, military drum. Pay off 10 miles away. 3. Vibrate. Sing. Very good. Very good. You guys hear that difference? Yeah. Now, let's go to 30, bar 30. Everybody at 30? 3, 4. So here's the thing, when we see forte at 30, we are already playing like it's fortissimo. And by the time we get to measure 40, he actually writes fortissimo. And in the bar before, in bar 39, you see how he writes a crescendo there? But if we're already playing too loud, we're not gonna have enough room to grow in that crescendo. And I think the culprit, unfortunately, is the seconds and the violas. You guys like this part, and I think you're rocking out a little too much. Da, ja, 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 dee, da. But unfortunately, you guys have the melody, right? So can you take that down by half in the volume? I promise you it will still be loud. But we need to hear these guys singing through, okay? Here's 30, once again. Softer second violins and violas, just a little bit. 3, 4. Very often when we have what we call octaves, which means basically that in this moment, the cellos are playing the same melody as the violins, right? Except the violins are playing an octave higher or 2 octaves higher. But what that actually means is when we play in octaves, we need more sound from the lower octave. So violins, do you play the melody? Yes. But so do they, which means that they need to be much stronger. And you guys can just back off a little. Can I just hear the first violins and the cellos here at 30? 3, 4. Dana was saying earlier, using this cake analogy, this cupcake analogy. You guys are the really good part. They're just the frosting. I'm one of those guys that I don't care for the frosting. I like the actual cake. So, cellos and violas and violins, excuse me. You guys are the melody. 3, 4. That's it. Everybody at 30. Remember, seconds and violas a little bit softer so we can make that crescendo happen. 3, 4. Good. That's very, thank you. Can I hear 60 real quick? We have to turn over. But 60. 3, 4. So in this music right here, this is the tune. Do you guys know what tune this is? This is called God Save the Tsar. This is considered the Russian national anthem. This music represents, in this storyline, some sense of triumph and hope over despair, despair being the very opening. Could we play this with a little bit more energy? And I hate to say this, but do you guys like this music? Could you let that inform your faces a little bit? We play this as if we're a little bit dour. It's Sunday evening and here I am playing the cello. A little bit more joy and triumph in your faces and in your sound, okay? 60. 3, 4. Cellos and basses, take a look at 65 and 66 and 67. This interval, this B natural to an F natural, is what we call a tritone. It's called the devil in music because it doesn't sound very pretty. So first of all, he gives it to us in bar 65, da, dee, deem, da, and then he gives it to us again, bum, 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 right? Each of these, even though he doesn't print it, it's almost as if he's telling you more, no, even more. So you have to bring this little thorny motive out. It's all of a sudden something's happening. We go from triumph to wait, there was too much joy in this music. We need to go back to the world of despair. And this is the cue that he gives us. Can we just do the same place, 60? And then we'll stop, okay? 3, everybody, 60. 3, 4. bow. So 2 bows on that last note. Go down and then make a slow crescendo all the way up and off. Okay? Very good, everybody. Congratulations.